Okay, so we'll come back to this one. Oh, there she is.
Is that you, Lucky?
So, lady. Compass. Whoa, what is that? First, I take your booze. And I talk to you.
So who the devil are you?
Oh, hi. Cohh, captain of the Unreliable.
You don't say. Well, make yourself at home, Captain. I'm sure we have much to discuss. Do you see that glowing chunk of space rock? That's Gorgon. My birthright, my burden, and the bane of my existence.
Oh.
I hate to drink alone, and this is my third. So join me in raising a glass. To Gorgon.
Give a cheerful toast. To Gorgon!
To Gorgon. May cosmic winds shepherd her to the nearest star. I'm Wilhelmina Ambrose, but you can keep it short and call me Minnie. Now, what brings you to my house, handsome? I take it you didn't come all this way for the beverages, the starry skies, or the pleasant company.
I'm here about a severed arm.
A severed arm? How positively ghoulish. You know this is a private residence, not a curio shop?
Does the name Lucky Montoya mean anything to you?
Lucky Montoya is my personal freelancer. Fascinating man. Very brooding and theatrical. Always staring into space and twirling a bullet over his knuckles.
He's definitely not doing that anymore.
But if something happened to him... Oh dear. I suppose that makes him my former freelancer now?
What's his arm doing in my ship?
I sent Lucky on a dangerous mission to the Gorgon asteroid. Whoever found his remains must have wanted to inform the next of kin. What a time for his luck to run out. We were in the middle of something grand, and I really can't afford another setback.
Interesting. Let me guess. You need someone to finish whatever Lucky started?
Excellent deduction. I can tell I found the right man for the job.
We're smart.
How would you like to be my new freelancer? There's been a recent vacancy, and I think you're well suited to the job.
Remember, play hard to get. That's negotiation.
You offer work to everyone who breaks into your home? Must be some kind of Byzantine tradition I ain't know about.
I'm looking for someone rough around the edges. A gorgeous, dashing scoundrel type. Incidentally, someone good with their hands.
Oh my. Gorgeous?
I like my employees well-groomed. Appearances are everything in high society.
Are you looking for a hired gun or a runaway model?
I'm looking for both.
Oh.
Remember, I'm rich enough that I can afford to be choosy. And I choose you, dear Captain. Allow me to lay out the facts, and you can decide for yourself if you want to be my chief investigator. My mother, Dr. Olivia Ambrose, worked for Spacer's Choice at the Gorgon Research Facility. She was brilliant, the top scientist in her field, until tragedy struck.
Go on.
One day, Spacer's Choice shut down all research and evacuated Gorgon. Everyone had to scramble or risk getting left behind. It was chaos. Employees fled for their lives. Mother never made it home. I'm told she wasn't the only casualty that fateful day.
It must have been real hard on you, losing your mother all of a sudden like that. I'm sorry to hear it, ma'am.
Thank you. Ambrose ladies are supposed to be resilient to the unexpected, but this was especially hard on me. Mother's name has since been dragged through the mud. Spacer's Choice blames her for the collapse of Project Gorgon, and I just know they're lying.
Why would they lie?
Why, indeed? To cover up their crimes? To discredit someone who knew too much? I'm hoping you can find out for me. Mother would not have allowed Project Gorgon to fail. Something happened on that asteroid, and my family took the fall for it.
What did you send Lucky to find exactly?
The truth. Mother is gone, Gorgon is silent, and I deserve answers.
What do you think happened?
I don't know. And Spacer's Choice won't say. They don't discuss anything that tarnishes their brand. Gorgon has a dark history. The project fell apart. Personnel were shuffled across the system. With Mother gone, now I'm all that's left.
Where was your father in all this?
Father lost more than his job on Gorgon. I'll say no more than that. The asteroid may look like a glittering jewel, but I assure you the resemblance ends there. Gorgon is poisonous to the core. One might even say cursed.
Tell me about your mother.
I admired Mother, but we weren't close. She disapproved of everything about me, really. I couldn't measure up to her example. She didn't make time for us. I remember thinking that she never wanted a child, and never forgave me for being one, naive and irresponsible as I was.
Sound familiar, Ellie?
Trust me, we are nothing alike.
A kindred spirit. Well, well, charmed. Today is full of surprises. Mother worked herself to the bone. She wanted to make the colony a better place, no matter who or what got sacrificed along the way. She never spared a thought for those of us who cherished her, who suffered for her idea of progress.
Did you two ever get along?
We got close once. When I was a child, I enjoyed looking over Mother's shoulder, playing backseat chemist while she peered into a microscope. One day, she told me to leave before I broke something. Then, I got mad and broke something.
Wow.
Typical night in the Ambrose house.
Oh, that hurts my heart to hear, ma'am. My dad was real dedicated to his work, too, but he always let me help. Made me feel, I don't know, special. Like I had something to offer. I wish you could have had that with your mother.
Mother and Gorgon were made for each other. I had the misfortune to be stuck
I love how
in
much the
middle.
companions add to the conversation.
I need your help, Captain. Project Gorgon killed Mother and disgraced the Ambrose name, and no one has been held accountable. Spacer's Choice buried the past like a dirty secret.
Are you interested in justice, revenge, or both?
Neither. It's vindication I want. Whatever happened on Gorgon wasn't Mother's fault. I simply need the evidence to prove it. We're going to drag the truth kicking and screaming into the light, even if it means bringing ruin and humiliation to Spacer's Choice. All the evidence I need should be in Mother's journal. You can find it in her office on Gorgon, in the heart of the old research facility.
Okay. Danger and corporate intrigue? Sounds like my kind of job. But first, I have some questions.
I'm not surprised. Between the family drama and the corporate conspiracy, it must feel like you've stepped on a landmine. Speak freely, Captain.
What good is your mother's journal to you now?
I suspect it will prove that corporate greed and incompetence were to blame for the calamity at Gorgon, and not Mother. Mother was a brilliant woman. Difficult, cold, unreachable even, but brilliant.
What if you're wrong?
Then my family's disgrace, our curse, will be absolute. This is my last hope of redeeming the Ambrose name. I don't like my chances, but I have to try. And I need help. Your help.
Why did you wait before starting the investigation?
I didn't want to go anywhere near Gorgon. Once I exhausted all my options, the search led me back here. I even had Mother declared legally dead. Would you believe it took 5 years to process the paperwork?
They never found her body, did they? Ooh. Does her being legally dead help somehow?
It isn't as bad as you make it sound, but technically, yes. Mother's body is still on Gorgon. No body means no death certificate, which means no inheritance. I killed Mother, just on paper, of course, so I could claim my inheritance. We wouldn't be standing here if I didn't have access to the family fortune.
Damn, wish I'd thought of that.
I once assumed the mansion and the money would be enough to redeem the Ambrose name. But even in Byzantium, prestige must be earned, and it can so easily be lost.
Are you saying you just want to break into high society?
You know, some people work hard just to break out.
Break back into high society, yes.
I thought you were trying to vindicate your mother.
I'm trying to do several things at once. None of them easy.
Fair.
The smear campaign against Mother was the work of cowards. I'm vindicating the family name for her, for the colony, and for my future.
What do you stand to gain?
Everything that Mother lost. This colony is in trouble. The lunatics at Spacer's Choice are running the asylum, and we need better people to wield their influence. After Gorgon, I quickly discovered that the Ambrose name was cursed, for lack of a better term. I had no place among the decision makers. No seat at the table.
That's Byzantium for you. Gossip mongering's a bigger sport than tossball.
That is why I'm clearing the record and vindicating the Ambrose line. For Mother, for me, and for the generations who will one day inherit Halcyon.
Okay. Do you think your plan will work?
I know it will.
How'd this investigation get Lucky killed?
You know as much as I do, I'm afraid. Spacer's Choice abandoned Gorgon, but the asteroid is far from unoccupied. Between the marauders, the wildlife, and whatever escaped the labs, danger abounds.
Marauders. I hate marauders. What kind of wildlife are we talking about?
Your guess is as good as mine. I know that Spacer's Choice bred canids, especially for Gorgon. They were supposed to act as living cattle prods. By now, they've probably gone feral. Just watch yourself. If you aren't careful, you stand to lose more than an arm. I believe that covers it all. Are you ready to get started? We mustn't allow the trail to get cold.
Okay. Danger and corporate intrigue. This sounds like my kind of job.
I admire your enthusiasm. This manor has echoed with my own we, and I can feel you breathing new life into the walls.
What about your
When you
enemy?
reach Gorgon, pack a weapon you trust. The corporate lockdown hasn't stopped the wilderness from squirming in through the cracks.
McCrandle says, when you say 100% run, does that mean you go for achievements too, or not so much? Mr. Crandall, my 100% runs are everything you can do in a single run. Go everywhere, do every quest, do like everything you can do in one run that is like story related and content, essentially. Yeah. Okay, let's do it. You tell Lucky about the job.
I told him everything I've told you. Just the facts. Maybe a couple of harmless embellishments. Why?
Just making sure I have what I need.
Still, you're smart to ask. Lucky spent most of our
You ask
time
a lot of
together
questions?
spinning
I do.
A pistol around
Yes.
his index finger. Not sure he listened to any of my advice.
That sounds like Lucky, all right. The man loved to show off.
He had an aura of rugged individualism that was quite charming. Not that it helped him in the end. But you won't let me down, will you, Captain?
Okay. I'll be careful.
There's a little saloon near Gorgon's landing pad, the Sprat Shack. Lucky was renting a room, so if you want to follow his trail, that would be the place to start.
I think I've heard of that place. Cheap whiskey, rough crowd. You'll love it.
Oh, you think maybe they got a little mascot? Like a sprat in a tiny hat?
Just so we understand each other, money is no object. I'm willing to squander the family fortune if you get me what I want. Between your payment and any salvage you happen across, you'll walk away from this rich enough to buy a mansion of your own. How does that sound?
What's the catch? There's always a catch.
The catch? No one's ever done this before, and the only person who tried is a corpse. Believe me, that's enough. Here's your nav key, Captain. Safe travels.
Awesome. Maybe you don't need to hear this from me, but I'm sorry about your mother.
Spacer's Choice should be the one apologizing, but thank you. Sincerely.
For me personally,
A word of advice before you go,
Oh.
Captain. Trust no one.
oh,
Mother's office is in the heart of the Gorgon facility. You're free to salvage anything that isn't nailed down. I only want what's mine.
Mysterious heiress, unexpected gainful employment. It's like something out of a detective serial.
It's not theft if she's giving us permission.
I always get pretty optimistic about my RPGs when I spend 15 plus minutes talking to the first person. I like this character. She seems to be fun. Okay. We pretty much explored everything we could in here. Can't get into here because it's barred. Yeah, is there any other way in here maybe? Let's take one more look around here. Okay. Sprat Shack lead. Can we go anywhere down here? Unlock with kitchen key card. Can't remember. Is there a way to walk in this game? I don't think so. Pancake mix. Delicious. Woolly curds. Okay. Ew. I can't believe it's not borscht. Some water, some borscht pockets. Borscht pockets! Can we go in here? Whoops. Yeah, RP walk. I don't think there's RP walk in this game, which makes me really sad. Games like this, I really like RP walking. Maybe they'll add that in later if we get lucky. Ooh. Ooh, this is a room we couldn't get into.
Oh my law, this is just like that episode of Virginia Yang, Girl Detective, where the old fella dies and his nurse inherits his house. What if we find a body?
He is adorable. Ooh, 117. I thought we were at like 120. No? Oh, we're thirsty. That's why. Here we go. Oh, it needs to be 150. Oh. Okay. Master bedroom key card. Here we go. Bunch of corporate awards. Nice. Mag pick. Cool. Jeweled ring. This ring has an unidentified gemstone and set it to its metal accent frame. It's probably not going to let you buy a new spaceship, but it's definitely worth a few bits. Cool. Literally stealing from her right now. We are terrible. We are terrible. Man, that's Gorgon. Looks nutty. Along that wilderness of glass, no swellings tell that winds may be. Upon some far-off happier sea, no heavings hint that winds have been on seas less hideously serene. Okay. Ambrose O. Logs. February 1st. This morning I gave birth to a healthy child. Perhaps it's a strange distinction to call her healthy, but after all I've endured to finally meet her, it matters. That she exists at all against the odds matters. I will call her Wilhelmina. After my late brother Wilhelm, I hope the law is kinder to her than it was to him. I hope for many things, truthfully, that she be smart and shrewd, that she be strong, relentless, undeniable. Most of all, I hope for her a steel spine, that she does not bend when Halcyon would break her, that she should be stronger than I. I must find Minnie a wet nurse. She demands to be fed throughout the day and night, and I simply cannot get a single thing done. The nurse will need to be exceptional, smart, educated by means. Minnie must have the best start if she's going to survive the pit of vipers that is the Byzantium elite. Then there's the matter of a governess. I can't watch the child constantly, not if I'm to do my work. How soon must I begin looking? Naturally, she'll have to be exceptional as well, and exceptional Byzantines don't exactly grow on trees. I will persuade Harvey to investigate this for me. Man has little else to do. About 6 months later, a little less. I don't understand how anyone of ambition has time to keep a journal. I certainly don't. Yet here I am indulging myself. Minnie's influence, no doubt. Her behavior concerns me. She's clingy, emotional. At 5, she should be starting to show some personality, not crying for her mother when I leave for another stint on Gorgon. This must be the fault of Mary, her governess, as Minnie certainly didn't learn this behavior from me. I'll have to fire the woman. It's clear she's not capable of instilling in Minnie a correct understanding of how to behave. Harvey despairs of ever finding a governess who meets my preposterous standards. He and I went in circles on the issue for hours, but he came around to my thinking eventually. Why shouldn't I want what's best for my daughters? Maybe I'll fire him too. Oh yeah, that was like 5 years later. Okay. So here we have, like, what, 8 years later, about? I'm at my wit's end with Minnie. At 13, she should have already mastered basic chemistry, physics, and mathematics, but she can barely handle long division. She struggles to remember the simplest equation and formulas no matter how many times her governess raps her knuckles. By the time I was her age, I'd already made dynamite in my grandfather's laboratory. The only thing Minnie's making explode is my head. Her father asked why we don't just send her to boarding school, but I abhor the thought of her surrounded by those coddled idiots. More alarming still, she's begun to show an interest in romance, serials, and painting. She may have a strong grasp of color therapy, and she shows some promise with watercolors, but surely that's the result of her education in spectroscopy. Spectrum? I don't even know. Not any innate skill. What value has art, anyway? She gave me a truly dreadful painting of Francis this morning, and I haven't a clue what to do with it. Perhaps I'll stuff it in my desk. I'll have a good laugh over it when she's grown and finally comes to her senses. Wow! This woman is terrible! 1 year later. Lucien appeared at the manor this morning. I thought him here for me to finally wring my neck after our latest tiff, but no, it was much worse than that. He'd come to speak to Minnie. No need to guess why. She's taken it upon herself to manage a household these last few years, since neither her father nor I have the time, or frankly, inclination. Under her watch, the staff's productivity has increased 35% while reducing our costs an astonishing 67%. We've saved tens of thousands of bits. Harvey tipped Lucien off, I expect. Now he wants to bring her on to help manage the Gorgon facilities, which I refused over Minnie's vociferous protestations. She cried after he'd left. I only wish I could tell her why. The search continues. W. Ambrose. I take from these entries that Mother was severe with her editorial pen. This is but one version of her carefully curated and not the one I wanted to find. Where is her unvarnished stream of consciousness? Where is her spontaneous brilliance? The search continues. My efforts will inevitably steer me to Gorgon. What then, Minnie? What then? Wow. Fun-looking family. Tossball card, Tyson Christensen. Nice. Doctor's orders. Ring. Dude, I'm literally stealing everything from this poor girl. I'm gonna go talk to her and she's gonna be like, why'd you take all my stuff?
Dear Wilhelmina, I hope this letter finds you well. No, it's too stilted. It sounds like I'm writing to request a loan. Dearest Wilhelmina, I regret to tell you... Law, no, that's worse. When have I ever called her dearest? She's my daughter. This should be easy. How can a mother not know how to talk to her own daughter? My love, I can no longer... For your safety, I must... Oh, hell. Even if she despises me for what I had to do, I should still be able to say goodbye. Minnie, I have to leave, and I don't intend to come back. I love you. I'm so sorry.
Oh, she knew. She knew before she left that something was going to happen. Oh, damn. Okay. Well, that changes things a bit. Plot thickens. That's right. Can I be like, I stole all your stuff?